G'day and welcome back to the Weedy garden, here in my compost depot, which I call my soil factory. On this video, I'm going to show you how I make the best compost ever, alrighty? But we've started off by something quite cool. So I mixed this a few days ago and now the heat is up to 71 degrees. So I put some water in here last night. I was thinking just to have a nice little, ooh, look at that. Oh, it's almost too hot. It's actually too hot. It's too hot. It's too hot to wash my face in, but I'm going to anyway. Oh, that is so hot. If I could just set some pipes around this or something and then bring it over to the house, but that'd be hard work because I'd have to turn the compost every day, every second day. Well, let's have a look at it. I'll turn this now. G'day and welcome back to another episode of the Weedy Garden. I want to show you something. See this? Homemade soil, everybody. I'll show you how to make it on this episode. It's a really exciting episode this time because I'm going to not only show you how I built my compost bay, I'm going to also show you what ingredients I put in the compost and why it's so important to make it diverse. And then we're going to look at the compost actually close up as it's progressing. I'm going to turn it every 2 days and we're going to see it in 21 days, and I'm going to take a little sample every time I turn it and have a close look at it so we can all look at it and see how it's breaking down. Alrighty, so we use our lactobacillus bacteria from the last episode to use to speed up this process of this compost. And I'll show you how to do that on this episode. So welcome to the Weedy Garden, and it's another exciting day up on the hill. And you'll need some corrugated iron, which is this stuff here, see? And you'll need some cutters to cut that with. This one. And you'll need some wire, and then some of these little roofing screws. And a tape measure, a pair of pliers, is some star pickets. You'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If you want to make a small one, 13, and a hammer. Oh, little mouse. Oh yeah. Did you see that little mouse? After 3 years in the garden, I've figured out a system that works for me. Like I call it my soil factory. And this is my soil factory. When you're making a compost, it's important to get a cubic metre. A cubic metre is 1 metre by 1 metre by 1 metre. And when it's 1 cubic metre, it generates that heat that it's desired to get that system going, and also to kill off your seeds, which is about 60 to 70 degrees Celsius. When the compost heats up after the first couple of days, it's called the thermophilic process, also known as the thermophilic phase. It's a crucial stage in composting where microorganisms, particularly heat-loving bacteria, they dominate the decomposition process. This phase is characterised by elevated temperatures within the compost pile, typically ranging from 54 degrees Celsius to 71 degrees Celsius. And so if I want to have 2 compost bays going at a time, I'm filling up my compost bay here and then I'm turning it into the next one, and then when I turn it into the next one, like this, backwards and forwards. And if I want, I can have 2 of those going at the same time, so then I can really make a lot of compost. And then on the 5th one, which is the one you've got down here, you can put your finished compost ready to go into the garden. I can have 2 composts going at once. So I turn this one into this one, and I can just keep turning them every couple of days until they're finished, and I put them up the end where it's ready to go. That's what I've done anyway. So this is mine. So when you make compost, it's not just about making compost. It's about making something that there's lots of diversity in. So if you just think about, if you just get green grass and brown grass and mix them in and make a compost, yeah, you've got soil, but it doesn't have a lot of different variety of nutrients and minerals in it. So I'd like to make my compost like a big supermarket for the plants. So I've got banana peels, and I've got egg shells, and I've got dead cane toads, as you know. I've got cow manure, I've got crusher dust, charcoal and ash, kitchen scraps, leaves, grass clippings. So we want to mix it about 60% brown, 40% greens. When I say greens and browns, I mean the browns are things like grass, dry grass, that's a brown. And something that would be green would be coffee grounds. That would be a green, see? And then something else that would be a brown would be toilet paper rolls. So I chuck them there. This one's just a combination of grass clippings and leaves that have fallen down in the backyard. Some cow manure here. And here I've just got some weeds basically from around the garden. And I collect the weeds. I've been collecting the weeds and stuff in the end bed here. What else have we got in here? Bit of eggshells, bit of charcoal, yeah, a bit of ash. That's all going in the compost. A bit of crusher dust. See? What else have we got? Shovel full of manure, a bit more of the brown, a bit more of this brown, and then in here I've got some lactobacillus bacteria in here that I made. Usually I mix it with molasses, but at the moment I've got some fermenting sugarcane juice. So I'm going to mix that in as well instead of using my molasses, because it's pretty much the same thing. Make it nice and moist, because in a couple of days that moisture will create heat, and it'll heat up to 60-70 degrees. I like a nice diversity in my compost. All the bananas that I peeled, and I froze them and I dried them because I had all those bananas from the banana tree. Toilet paper rolls, horse manure. By doing this, I'm not saying you need all these ingredients to make a perfect compost. All I'm saying is that with a lot of diversity, you get a lot of different ingredients, you get a lot of different nutrients and a lot of different minerals. Grass clippings and leaf clippings. The star fruit and the leaves. Put a bit more brown in now, and then we'll give this a good soaking now. A bit more water. Alpaca manure and cow manure. Coffee grounds. Bit of ash and charcoal. And eggshells. Put a bit more manure on, I think. So now I've got a bit of fermented sugarcane juice here. Just going to pour a bit of that on. More star fruit. Coffee. More browns and more water. And now I just use ordinary water. I've got some old bacteria juice here. Comfrey fertiliser that's sort of gone off now. I'll make a new one. More manure. Now I'll put a bit more of this sugarcane juice on. It's a shame that sugarcane juice went to waste. So, okay, what have we got here? A bit more ash. A bit more crusher dust. Crusher dust, it gives it that minerals, and it gives it that paramagnetic quality as well. Pumpkin plants, carrot tops, all this stuff's going to be hard to turn. This is peas. Time to give it a bit of water. I'll give it one last water, and then I'll come back in 2 days and I'll turn it over. And I'll do that every 2 days And every 2 days I'll take a little sample and have a look in the microscope as well and see how this develops over the next 21 days. So there you go, it's all locked in and it's all anaerobic. We want to keep all the air out of it. That's why I put the bag on, because those anaerobic bacteria are the ones that are going to do the breaking down. And as I turn it every second day, be introducing the aerobic bacteria and introducing air to it. But for the moment, we want it to be closed up like that. And so in a couple of days, in 2 or 3 days, this is going to really heat up. Come back and watch it. So here we are actually there's been 3 days that have gone by since I made this, because I've been doing my tunnel, but around 2-3 days. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bury this bucket in the middle of it. Watch. The heat's going to come up and we'll warm that up, but just so you can see, it's nice clean water. See? Nice clean water. Nice and cold. Just from the tap. Cover it up there and let it sit for 2 more days. Now we go and look at this under the microscope, shall we? First day, which is pretty much just hay and leaves and banana peels, but just so we can see the progress. Ooh, it stinks a bit. We just put this up here in the lye, and I'll bring it underneath here, see? Okay, so that's what it looks like from that angle. And I'll show you what it looks like from the other angle. Then we can see any sort of life in there. You can see there's a bit of condense on the glass, but that's the heat that's generating inside the glass that's making it condense. And now I'll take a sample and I'll mix with a bit of water. Okay, that'll do. Okay, so now I've got a little sample mixed with water. I'll just take my little eyedropper. I'll take a little eyedropper full. There. Then I just put this one little drop on the glass. See? Let's have a look at it, shall we? See, this is my iPhone. You can see the microscope part sits on my iPhone. So then I just put it in the eyepiece here. Boom. It's like looking through the universe, isn't it? Tiny little particles. If I go even closer, small crystals and stuff. If you ask me, it looks interesting. It looks like a lot of tiny little small diamonds, tiny little small crystals of all sorts. Wow, it's like the universe, isn't it? Look at that, just tiny particles. Wow, incredible. Yeah, see, we're on day 5 now. Ooh. And look, I've got the water in here. Let's have a look and see how hot it is. Ooh, it looks warm. Putting it in now. 22, 28, 37, 44, 55, 56, 62, 63. It's going to stay there. It's not going to get any hotter. I don't know if it's any worth putting it down in here. 64. See, I got it down in there, and it's in the soil, and it's 67 degrees there. 67 degrees. I don't know if you can see that. 67 degrees. I'm going to see if it's any hotter. Oh, whoa. Oh, I'm going to have a wash. Oh, it's too hot to have a wash. It's really hot. Ooh. It's almost, it's too hot to wash in it. I'm going to take this out now and measure underneath the bucket. See if it's any hotter down the bottom here. Stick it in there. 42, 46, 69, 70 degrees. Woohoo! I don't know if it's going to go any hotter. You can see the steam coming off it there. Whee. 71. But I'd say that'd be max. Interesting. If you want to see it on here, I'll pull it out real quick and put it up to the camera. Can you see? It says 71. It's probably going to cool down already, 65 already. Oh well, that's good. We know it's heating up. Now it's time to turn it. So I'm just going to test the moisture. And I'll just grab a handful here. If I just squeeze that, you can see some drops coming out. It's definitely wet enough. So you want to get the stuff that's in the middle and put that on the outsides, and the stuff that's on the outsides, you want to put that in the middle. So it gets good turnaround. You definitely don't need to have a gym subscription if you've got a vegetable garden. Nice job to do in the winter. Nice and warm here. Okay, we'll take our little sample from there. Okay, I'll keep that for my little test. You want to kind of wiggle it a bit and spread it out. See, that 71 degrees, that's going to kill all the seeds that's potentially going to germinate. It doesn't get that hot around the edges, so there's always going to be some seeds that are going to be around the edges that don't get killed by the heat. All right, here we go. Now we'll go and look at that sample. Sample number 2. Okay, here we go. Test sample number 2. That looks very similar to what it looked like, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of little tiny crystal looking things. You see? I don't know if it's going to look very different from now until we're finished. But that's the thing. It's the exercise is to just look at it and see what it looks like. A little leg from some microscopic animal. So a week has gone past. Not since I last turned it, but since I made it. It's nice and warm in there. And what does it say today? 21, 25, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 47, 50, 54, 56, 57, 61, 62, 63, 64. This is on day 7. Looks like it's staying on 68. Or 69. Heat 70 degrees. Wow. Nice and steamy in there. It gets a lot easier as it gets older because this stringy stuff here, as it decomposes, it breaks down, makes it a lot easier to turn. So I'm just going to grab a handful, test the water content. We should just hopefully see 1 drop of water. That's pretty good. To film. Day 7. This would be the 3rd turning. Just a bit of eggshell there. 1 drop on there. Just small tiny crystals of things. Okay, that's day 7. So this is day 9. We'll see what the temperature is. 70. Not quite sure if you can see that. It's amazing that after day 9 it's still at 70 degrees. Get a bit of this, squeeze it. Yeah, just get a drop out. It's day 9. Already there, I can see something crawling around. Check this out. Alright, it's now day 11. Doesn't look like it's coming over 67 today on day 12. 67. Oh, 68. This is day 14. Okay, what is it on? 58 degrees still, so it's not going to get any hotter than that. One drop, 2 drops. Interesting, look at that. Looks like little tiny springs. That's just looking inside one water droplet. All those tiny little things are being broken down. Day 17. So the mice have been looking after worms and food scraps and all sorts of things. Come in there and scratch underneath the plastic at night time. It's definitely not as stringy as it was in the beginning. We're on day 17 now. Okay, just up to 54. Day 17. Now I'll take my little sample. My little sample on day 17. Just take some. There we go. That's beautiful. Although there's, oh, the bubble just burst. Still 50 degrees on day 19. Will it make 51? Yes, 51 degrees. Unfortunately, my microscope's not good enough to get close enough to see the bacteria. You need a really powerful microscope, but it's been interesting looking at what I can see under the microscope, but to me, nothing's really changed, to be honest. And today is the last day that I'm turning it, day 21. I'll be presuming it's about 45 degrees in there. Oh, there's a mouse. Isn't that beautiful? I'll just empty my hands a bit. See? That's how it looks. Homemade soil, guys and girls. 21 days. I'll stick the thermometer down here. After 21 days, the compost is 44 degrees in the middle. That's what I thought. So I'm going to just get a little bit of this and sieve it. And sieve it so I can use some of it for seedling soil. I'll let this seedling mix sit for a while before I use it. Let me have a smell of it. Yeah, that smells like a fresh forest in the morning. Yeah, that's beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to save this for the seedlings now. Beautiful compost soil for the seedlings. And you know it's good when you can go like that. And it stays like a little ball, see? 21 days ago, that was just grass and hay and banana peels. Beautiful. Very proud of that. The reason I'm using the lactobacillus bacteria is because I can breed them, and if I breed them in an anaerobic environment, I'm separating all the other bacteria that I don't want. I've just got the lactobacillus bacteria. When I put them in my compost, they can live in the aerobic environment as well. Because there's so many of them, they just start that decomposition process already really, really quickly. And as it evolves, other aerobic bacteria join the game and join the show, and nature takes over. So don't be afraid to think that compost is anaerobic and dangerous for the garden. It will become aerobic over time. And you notice it was still a bit hot there at the end. Don't think I'm going to put my seeds straight into that. I'm going to let it sit so it just cools down. Even now, this is nice and cool now. I'm going to try and actually plant some seeds directly into this and see how they go. It might be a bit strong, but we will find out. Because that's what the Weedy garden's all about. It's about experimenting. Okay. This one here I've made to keep the bush turkey away. And it seems to work. See, I've got this beautiful big wheelbarrow full of compost soil. I'm going to put that whole wheelbarrow full in there because I've got something really special planned for this bed, and definitely not going to reveal what that is on this episode, but stay tuned to the Weedy garden and you'll see me grow something quite interesting in this bed. This is going to be the best fed bed in the whole garden. Okay, so I think that's pretty good, that video. I enjoyed making that time. It's quite interesting looking at the compost and following the development of it. This is just beautiful soil. It's just incredible. Just can't really explain it, the smell and the touch of it. So just remember those lactobacillus bacteria. Don't be afraid of them just because they're anaerobic, okay? We breed them in an anaerobic environment, but they can live in an aerobic environment. And by the time they end up in the compost, like on this garden bed, they've had plenty of air through them, so they're definitely not an anaerobic soil, if that makes sense. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something about our beautiful supermarket in the soil. Enjoy doing your composts, and have a nice day. And I'll catch you on the next video. I'm going to put this back on because the bush turkey's probably going to love to come and dig all this up, but it's not going to now. Whew. Okay. Hope you enjoyed the video, everybody. Have a nice day, and I'll catch you later. Enjoy your gardens. Enjoy your lives. It's important. Enjoy your lives. Have a nice day, and I'll catch you later.